Okay, we are live now. Psh. What? Hey, welcome to the stream. Oh, Ace streams by Mr. Spaghetti. That was a hard one. I know. Hate it when stuff isn't working right. This one's got some pretty weird transitions in it, and that's really what the practice is all about, is learning those transitions and getting it right. Really? GG, man. 300's a pretty big achievement. I reached 300 demons about 3 years ago. Okay, let's do it. After playing low detail mode because I was getting lag in practice, it was playable, I guess, but it wouldn't have worked because I was practicing without even having OBS open, let alone streaming and recording at the same time. So that was a no-go. Funny enough, there's a reverse gravity portal that got removed there by clicking low detail mode. That's why I went through a regular gravity portal and didn't have a gravity flip. Threw me off when I repracticed. Dang it. That cube is actually pretty weird. There's a transition coming out of the UFO where if you click so much that you actually land as a cube, you'll break the transition. The blue pad will cause you to run into a wall instead of land on a platform. JJRRLL. I already have 120 hertz. However, on a lot of levels, I'm actually struggling to get 60 FPS because I got a 120 hertz screen, but I didn't get the world's greatest graphics card to go with it. This is a laptop, so I would actually have to completely change my machine to go up to 144 hertz or do anything like that. So with that being said, I'm using 60 hertz by choice, not just because of lag, but because I also want to play on a level playing field with everyone. So there are many instances where my 120 hertz screen isn't going to give me much benefit because of my graphics card, but I don't exactly want to be using it either to get that advantage. I think that completing 1,000 demons on 60 hertz is quite the achievement. And I'd be a lot more proud of that than completing even most of them on 60 hertz. I want to say that I completed all of them on 60 hertz. It keeps bugging. At least it's right at the start. It's so hard to see in that part. Don't know why they did that. And it bugged. Ah. I clicked. What's your problem? Okay, that's dumb. That part is just not built smartly. Because I clicked there, and it should have moved me up fast enough, but it doesn't sometimes. Really? What? What the bug was that? Make up your mind, game. Cat. That was funny. My brother was looking for his shoes and one of them got moved because of cats. I was trying to move the cats around and using the shoelace to lure them, and that entailed moving the entire shoe. Are you kidding me? This went a lot smoother in practice mode. Now all of a sudden it's like, nah, I'm gonna find different ways to kill you and just stop you cold. Whew. That wave to ship transition is really bad. And this transition's got a lot of auto in it, so that works. You just have to realize that that's the case. Alright, one last tricky wave. Mainly because of the triple speed mini wave. There we go. They say never celebrate too early, but I'm pretty sure we got it now. GG. That was pretty good. It took a little bit longer than I expected, since I had so much pre-stream practice, but great level. I did have to play in low detail mode, so I'm a little bit bummed that we didn't get to see the Fortnite characters, but I mean, that's what I get. I've got a laptop and its graphics card is not the latest. It's like from 2013. Oh, and by the way, I was totally trolling you guys. I know this is Overwatch, not Fortnite. So, we'll call this a easy demon. It's pretty long, but definitely worth playing. And if you can load the art and everything, then play it that way. It's really good. I could barely do it in practice mode. It was still playable, but I knew that streaming and recording at the same time would be a no-go. GG number 996. So let's see, did Rob get us a daily? No, he didn't. Of course he didn't. Wait. Oh, we got the 1,000 orb one. Okay, what I think we're gonna do is take a quick intermission and do a 5-star level that has user coins. That way we can open up the 1,000 orb quest, because the demons are the fastest way to get those sort of quests done. So I want to let our next demon clear that quest nice and quickly. And since we have a quest that requires coins, we're going to do a 5-star with coins, even though I usually don't like streaming that. I'm not going to be doing Nintendo. Unless Rob makes it weekly, I suppose there's the possibility of that. My menu music is the Time Gear theme from Pokemon Explorers of Time, Darkness, and Sky. Wait a minute, I think there was something that... I think there's a reason why it's doing this. Yes. Okay. I don't think that's how it's supposed to be done, but... Okay, that was funny. My mom needed the car key, and since I had been driving around the last couple of days, she didn't have it. So far, lots of mini coins, but no regular coins. There's supposed to be 3 of them. Says auto, but there might be a mini coin hidden in here. Oh, hearts. Okay. So we got one of them. Okay, that kind of makes me wonder if I'm missing anything else. Maybe that help heart means something. Ah. Oh. It just puts markers on everything that you need to click. And I missed the mini coin, so we'll just go without it and sight read. Why did I do that? Ah, forgot it again. This happens to me all the time. I think it was yesterday's daily, it happened all the time, where I just forgot some stupid little thing. I would go multiple attempts in a row and get to the same point and then realize, oh, I forgot to trigger the coin route. See, I have to wonder if I was supposed to go through that, but it worked all right in practice mode. I almost might think that that's a secret passage. But then that one probably doesn't have a passage and it looks exactly the same, so I don't know. Usually there's some kind of little marker for a secret passage. So you got 4 of these mini coins, but no regular coin. There's only one that's confirmed, and I think it's the hearts that trigger it. They could be stacked, but I don't know. Yeah, that's the last coin. Alright, I'm just going to put this in the folder to wrap up because all we wanted to do was get that bottom quest done. I'll sort that one out on my own later, or after we get number 997 done. Thank you, Fire. Didn't even notice that. Well, we are immediately getting some lag. Oh yeah, this is a lot of input delay. Wow. Well, let's see how well I can take that. I don't think it's gonna make for a good video though. This is a nope. Okay, low detail mode it is. There we go, this is playable. Hopefully it stays that way, you know? Oof. What? I clicked. Okay then, sudden transition. Oh, I think I treated that dash orb like it was a green orb or something. Yep, that's definitely what I did back there. Okay then. Well, this is getting fun. Secret orb of some kind? Did that... Yeah, I think those worked automatically for me. I certainly don't recall clicking them. Wait a minute. Okay, I think what happened was I held there and it has a block on it so I don't crash. That would make a little bit more sense seeing as I just fell when I definitely did not have my finger on the mouse button like that. So I'll have to sort that one out. That makes sense because both of them you have to move up. But if there's a gravity flip, then that means that one of them has to be a click and the other one has to not be a click. Ah, that blue orb just dumped me on a spike. Not good. Nice. Hello there, Sanance. Welcome to my stream where I'm working on getting 1,000 demons. Right now we're doing the last demon leading up to 1,000. So on Sunday, a weekly demon's gonna come out. I'll beat it twice, and then, because usually it's just something I haven't already done. I'm kind of banking on that. And then from there we'll play Ultimate Demon Mix and complete that for number 1,000. But leading up to 1,000, or leading up to the weekly demon right before 1,000, I've picked out a bunch of XL demons, and this is the last of them. We did the other 7 on stream over the past few days. Okay, that's a bug. Oh, Ultimate Demon Mix, that's pretty nice. Sounds like you're a little ways ahead of me. Interesting. So there's a green orb there that's meant to, I guess, help you if you click too early or something. Well, I don't really want to mess with that, so... Nice, we did the entire fast part in one go. Both of them. Okay, so I'm gonna practice it a few more times just to get it down. Alright, I did it 3 times in a row. That's pretty good. Here we go. This will be number 997. The last XL demon leading up to 1K. That'll be nice. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that. Getting nothing kind of sucks. But then at the same time, I mean, if you're an adult and you're doing all right financially, why would you even, right? If you need something, you can go out and buy it. But then there are those things that you can't buy. So as I've been growing up, I haven't seen the value in those things, whatever homemade craft it might be, because it has little practical value. But for people who see past the practical value of something and see the sentimental value, then it becomes a real gift. Because everything practical that they might want, they either already have or could easily obtain. So it's a weird dynamic, Christmas gifts for adults. Also, to the newcomer who said that he's getting a new phone, that's great. Honestly, if I were to get a new phone, I would want to wait until Apple came out with something like an iPhone SE 2. It's probably going to be stupid expensive, but that would be a nice thing to get, because just the form factor, right? Everybody seems to be going with these giant phones, and they're basically halfway to being tablets at this point. So to me, that doesn't make any sense. The iPhone SE is a competent phone, but it's kind of lagging behind at this point on battery life and performance. It's also pretty close to the bottom of the list of devices by Apple that currently support the current iOS version. I think the iPhone 5S is still the last one that supports the current iOS version, so okay. Well, that was a really awkward transition. You have a point, Fire. Black Friday deals are having to be pushed lower than they used to because of online sales, and retailers are also trying to push out the length of their sales as well, because people are shopping over a longer period of time instead of waiting until Black Friday to go on a splurge. So there's a lot of game theory in the shopping world now. So on one hand, you might say that Black Friday is going to be better than ever as far as what the deals are, but on the other, maybe not. Maybe it's just going to be long and drawn out. That's dumb. Oh yeah. I would say invest in good hardware before you start investing in peripherals. Because if you can't afford the expensive hardware, then you shouldn't be bothering with the expensive peripherals. Because you have to think not just about production, but about personal use. And also, there are some very basic minimum quality things when it comes to production. And having a high quality mic versus having a graphics card that can actually pump out your videos properly, big difference. Now, if you're recording in real life videos, then that means that you go out and get a better camera. If you're doing podcasts, yes, you need the good mic. But if you're doing videos, you might want to focus on video first, and that's going to require a lot of compute. If it's a game capture like what we're doing here, that's going to require a lot of compute. Looks like there's a secret in that wave, but I'm not really gonna go for that. I'll probably end up dying. Checking out secrets is a practice mode thing. Oops, I didn't hold long enough. Me treating the green orb like a, or the dash orb like a green orb. You're absolutely right. Um, I got an $800 laptop, which is a pretty good deal considering it has 120 hertz. And so I'm playing GD and a few other things with it, and it's working out mostly okay. What I would try to do, I don't know if you can get these specs, but for GD, I believe what you want to do is try and get really high frequency single core GPUs, because GD does use the GPU, but it's single threaded. So if you have like a multi-threaded GPU, then you're not going to get so much bang out of that. It'll be great if you're trying to record at the same time, so you probably want at least like a two-threaded GPU, but you need a core that's really fast, high clock speed in order to get the most bang for your buck on GD. Since it isn't since it makes more sense to write programs to be multi-threaded than it does to increase the clock speed on processors, both regular and graphical, we have started to see kind of like a threshold or a limit starting to appear for processor clock speeds, but some industries are really lazy when it comes to their software. So what you'll see is that, say, architectural and engineering programs like Revit and AutoCAD, they are still single-threaded applications. And that completely changes the sort of PC that architects and engineers are in the market for. They're going to be spending thousands of dollars to find a PC or to buy a PC where somebody has gone through some of the best single-core processors and tried to overclock them and get a little bit more out of them, and then put some other parts together to create a full package. Box is one such company. So for a game, you're kind of looking at something different, where you're trying to figure that out from the standpoint of graphics. Some games doesn't matter. Get your multi-threaded graphics, up that core count. But for GD, different story. And I'd expect to find that with mobile games, because that's largely what type of processor is used or what type of requirements there are for those games. They don't need to be multi-threaded. So you get it ported over to PC, people start doing crazy things. Now it hurts. Uh, Okay, what? Oh well. We're gonna turn up the focus now. It sounds like, based on our conversations before, that you live in Mountain Time, so we are a little ways apart, seeing as I'm about 2 hours away from the Pacific Coast. I think it's like 6 hours to get out to Ontario, which is right on the time zone border, and that doesn't say much as to your location. No, it's 6 hours to Tri-Cities. It's 8 hours to Ontario. Something dumb like that. Ontario, Oregon. Honestly, though, I wouldn't mind doing some kind of road trip or something during spring break. Just cement that driving experience in a little bit better. Because by then I'll have been driving around town for quite a while, and I guess I'll be itching for some long highway travel. Something everybody's got to do every so often to break them in, unless they're an older adult who's just continuing at the grind. Although I suppose if you're a young guy, you're going to do that too. You might just need to keep going at the grind because your job doesn't pay that well. Oof. Okay, yeah, Mountain Time. So is somewhere near Denver where you live then? I'm studying IT fire, so that's why I've gone through my first term. I've gone through the intro to basic hardware and PC software, so I've got components on the brain, and I know all about the multi-threading of processors and stuff like that. That's why I was talking about it for so long, because I have that information, and a lot of people don't exactly understand that. It's good to get that information out there. Seriously. I know, it's very important. Um, that being said, I was not able to get through the text for that course. There's just way too much reading every week. So I was gonna work on that during the break. So I need to hop on it in a bit and start reading the material I didn't get to. I still got an A though, because I was paying attention, asking questions, and making connections. and because he didn't drill us very deeply into the process, which is what a lot of the text in that book is about, is exactly how this stuff works and has evolved. So not reading it didn't really set me back that far, but I want to read it because I don't just want to be an okay tech. I want to be a great tech. Not necessarily going to be PC repair guy, because that's a little different, but I'll be able to figure out what's going on. Because the PC repair people, they go, at least the good ones, they go down below just that component level, and they will look at schematics and figure out how much voltage a transistor is supposed to have, and stuff like that. So they're in deep. They're looking to solder an individual little circuit out. Maybe I shouldn't call it a circuit. An individual little part out of a board and then replace it. That's not somewhere I'm going. That's not an understanding I plan on having. But I want to have more than the surface level that I got here. So if I just read the book during break, and I should be good. I mean, homework is work. I see what you said there. In my case, it was kind of, well, I only have so much time where I can really focus on my homework. Not the amount of time that I have available to do it, but the amount of time that I can focus on it. So what I needed to do was I needed to figure out how to set this up so that way I could continue doing things that were not just homework and get the most out of my studying without encountering large diminishing returns for the time I put in, and still not miss anything important. And I think my final grades say that I did that. I got straight A's this term. Ah, why am I so bad? Alright. Restarted the recording. Let's buckle down and focus. I just need to focus. That's all it takes. Instead, I'm chatting with my stream. Okay, I completely forgot how that went. I knew about the part that right after where I died, but I didn't exactly remember what to do there. Just because it's kind of awkward. You got some really definite gameplay, and then that one is just like, oh well, you got to figure it out. Oh, I forgot. I forgot to let go, and then for some reason it didn't jump, and then because of that I was behind, so I clicked too late. If I let go when I was supposed to, I would have been able to click when I was supposed to. Let's go. GG. This is honestly probably the best level I've ever played. I love it. Sorry about the volume, man. The volume is really low because that's basically how loud my mic records things, and so I have to lower the volume of the game in order to compensate. OBS doesn't have any sort of boosting option after I do that, so I really wish things would kind of, maybe if my mic recorded louder, then we could have the video be louder. I think that'd make the most sense, but it is what it is. Great level. I'd call this a very easy demon. I definitely had a lot of nonsense deaths, but it takes a lot of skill to do this. It's some really fast sight reading, couple hard timings. Very fun and satisfying though, definitely worth playing. If you're looking for a milestone demon, this is one for you. Absolutely love it. And this is my 997th demon. And unlike all the others we've done, this is going in favorites. There we go. So what's coming up? Weekly Demon and the Ultimate Demon Mix. So what's going to happen is I'm going to practice Ultimate Demon Mix, and then when the Weekly Demon comes out, we're going to stream. And we're going to try and do both of them in the same stream. And if that doesn't work, then we'll come back and stream Ultimate Demon Mix some more until it's done. Because if a Weekly Demon comes out, or because we're going based on weekly demons, I've actually got 2 weeks, because we can get the next weekly demon and load it. That's fine. I don't have to beat it right away. We can go to the end of that week, get the next one, and have it queued. I don't have to beat either of them yet. But then 1 more week after that, so you know, up to 3 weeks. Then at that point, I would lose my queue. So we've got a lot of time. I don't think I'm going to need that much time. But that's what it looks like on the calendar. And by that point, I would be in school by that point, because winter term would start. So there you go. That's the plan. No daily yet. Okay. Well, we don't have a daily yet. Well, hold on. My mom and my brother went out to go do some scout meeting or something. So at this point, I guess I'm going to work on some other things, maybe work on quests, but we're going to call this stream good there. Can't believe it. You know, when I started on Tuesday, I was playing Backwash and Ace Streams. Those 2 levels, and even the ones after, it really made me question if I was actually going to be able to finish all the levels that I had picked out. But we did it. And we had fun for a lot of it too. Towards the end here, which is kind of what I thought would happen. There isn't much road left. So let's use this opportunity and practice Ultimate Demon Mix a little bit. Since I've got a chest that opens in like 4 minutes, it would make sense to keep playing until then and then open it and call it good. Just had to cough right there. Fortunately, I've got a mute button on my mic. Oof. Oof, that not good. Yep, but thanks for telling him why, because I did not do that. To think at one point this wave was hard. We've cut, you know, GD's come a long way in the last 5 years. Oh, I think that got messed up because I started holding a little bit too late. If you're even a little bit late, it could mess that thing up. I think it has to do with it not aging very well in 2.1, but it is what it is. Okay, this is where it starts to get deadly, because you've got all this, which you have to have memorized, and then you do the Cataclysm part, and then the 9 Circles part, and then the Supersonic part, and then the Windy Landscape part, and all of those are kind of hard. And in this case, in the Golden Haze part, Zobro's just picked one of the most memory-intensive parts of the level, where, okay, so I could actually die when I play this. Especially when you have to clip some of your timings or some of your clicks, so that way you don't jump. There are a couple spots where you have to do that. Okay, I'm not getting lots of input delay like I have been right now, so that's good. This level is weird. Sometimes, but not all the time, I get lots of input delay when I'm practicing it. You know, like the 60 hertz input delay type of a thing. You're 1 or 2 frame, or you're like 1 frame behind. And right now, I'm not getting it so much. But it gets really bad in the Cataclysm and 9 Circles parts with those waves, and even the ship. Okay, so we're gonna try and go from here to the end. So there are some hairy things that I gotta do in this run. I would say it's a couple of parts in the supersonic section, which include that timing there. Getting through those 2 buzzsaws. And then the last little ship section of the supersonic part. Those are the hardest parts of supersonic. 9 Circles isn't that bad, and then the windy landscape part is just, I hate it. remember when Zobros did a Q&A. It makes, at one point he was asked if he would do Cataclysm and he said, no, I'm not interested. I almost have to wonder, because he's a 60 hertz player, what if he was fully aware of how 144 hertz affected the game, and so obviously Cataclysm would be far more difficult on 60 hertz, and that he just didn't want to deal with that. Then again, he might not have known, and he just practiced it and be like, yeah, no, I'm not doing this. Because he didn't put a condition on it, that would be the main hint. But you still have to wonder if he knew. That ship is fiendishly difficult for this part, for this being this far into the level. And then you have to do that a little bit differently. You have to wait before making that click as a ball, which I don't think is a requirement in Windy Landscape. The Zobros Q&A was probably back in late 1.9, maybe early 2.0. Long time ago. It might have just been a stream, I'm not even sure, but I'm pretty sure he did a Q&A video. Or an About Me video, I don't know. Addressing FAQs? Right, something along those lines. Was when he expressed that he had no interest in Cataclysm. He stated what he thought his hardest demon was. Which at that, when he recorded that, was Alphabet X. Other people disagreed and said, oh, it's Acropolis. Now, I guess we say it's Aluminum. Which might have been out at that point. Yeah, I remember that. That was really long and filled with lots of easy levels and Riot not playing very well because he's answering questions. You know what's crazy is that up until we bumped up the SG requirements to 20,000 or like 15,750 demons, Riot would have been able to get into SG. And honestly, considering where he was on the leaderboards, if he ever wanted into SG, I'd give it to him. But, oh well. What the bug? See, I wouldn't give Riot membership into SG because he's famous, I would give him membership because he was like in the top 10 at one point. I think that automatically qualifies. If you were in the top 10 at one point in GD history, I think you should be able to join SG no matter what your stats are right now. That seems kind of fair, but that's a good idea, Fire. The thing is that who would we give that to? Like Cyclic, and I guess that's it. That's kind of a hard one to figure out. Then there are some people who have been in the top 100 for a long time. If there was more interest, then yeah, sure, I would totally do that. But this would be from like 1.9 and back. It'd be kind of weird to try and prove that too. Because we'd be relying on old screenshots and stuff and people's memories. I would not be very helpful in that regard because I was not paying attention to leaderboards or anything until 2.0. That's kind of like where I was at. I started getting into the YouTube scene in late 1.9, and that was my community involvement back then. Technically I'm more involved right now, but I'm also kind of like this guy who lives under a rock and streams when school gets out, so like it's sad, but my real portal into what's going on in SG has been the staff chats, if anything. Staff chats and maybe memes. And then policing the Weebs channel. Yeah. It seems like that is a channel you would expect to need policing. Okay, we'll include the entirety of 9 circles in this next run. I'd like to include more stuff, but it gets kind of long. We're gonna end the stream in a little bit. This is going pretty good. And rip. That would suck so much. I mean, that's the way the Weeb channel goes. Lots of people don't even go in there. Fair enough. The community tab. If you're referring to YouTube, I think I know what you mean. I was not even aware of profiles until like November, after 2.0 came out. Right, 2.0 came out in August. In November, I made my profile. I was completely oblivious. Okay, what's your hardest demon? And what are you thinking about going for? That'd be a good place to start. Oh, like the entire level editor and everything thereto related. Yeah, that's a big thing to miss. Okay. Hmm. Let's just recommend Ultraviolet with some of the hideous gameplay that's in it. Okay. I've practiced that. I don't want to play it. Not for a while. Oh boy, a text wall. I can see what you mean. Um, well, in my opinion, Supersonic is harder than Windy Landscape. If you haven't done that, I would try going for it. There are some parts which are kind of bad, but it'd be worth a try. There's also Pyromaniac, that's around the same difficulty. It's got one section that's absolutely heinous, but I think it's also worth playing. You know, just knock out some of these 1.9 levels. You could go for Acropolis if you're okay with timings. Um, Acropolis was a level that kind of had me stumped for a while. I really didn't want to do it. Nothing really worked for me. And then when I just started practicing it, got into a copyable, I was able to do that, and it turned out okay. Yes, you're absolutely right. Sharp Minor, that's just a regular hard demon. I'd recommend doing that. It won't necessarily become your new hardest demon, but it should help you raise the floor on your wave skills. And naturally, by raising the floor, you will be able to raise the ceiling later. Ado is a level that I just did. That one's kind of like, well, it depends. Are you comfortable doing the entire drop in one run? If that's like super killer hard, then don't go for it. Welcome back, Gamer Boss. One thing on the timing end that's worth considering also is Club Step Nightmares by Zobros, so that's another timing demon that you could try. Out of the old levels, I could recommend You might really get a lot out of playing some old demons that are kind of hard. So there's XYZ step. That's a pretty difficult old demon. It has an absolutely killer ending, but if you can do that, you're gonna raise the floor on your skill quite a bit. Similarly, Club Step In. That's a demon from 1.7 that has some user coins on it, and it also has a very killer timing at the end. But if you can do that, then that's your skill going way up. Some other levels that did not get updated to be really hard would include... Dang it. Okay. Would include Twilight Step. I believe it's Twilight Step V2. It's by Black PS2 Full or something like that. The guy who made Alphabet X and Silent Club. And then you can also do Alphabet X. Both of those are about the same difficulty. They test slightly different skills, and I think that they're a great stepping stone for improving at some of the other skills. I'll just put them in chat. We got Twilight Step V2. They're by the same creator. And then there's XYZ Step, and then Club Step In. So those are all old demons that are going to be pretty difficult. If you can beat that lineup of nastiness, then you're going to be in really good shape to play pretty much anything else. Anything else that was, say, Insane Demon back in 1.9. So picture beating those and then going for something like the Shredder or Acropolis. You're going to be ready by then. And because they're old demons, you get progress towards completing the game's oldest demons. So, I mean, that means something to me. It might not mean something to you. But because they're old, a lot of people don't know about them and the challenges that they pose. Although Alphabet X is pretty famous. That one's the exception. If you have 75 hertz or more, you could do Super of Everything. That's just a easy timing demon that's got Insane Demon for some reason. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What was that? Oh, no, 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 no. That is a big no-no. Mobile. Okay. Mobile is going to be difficult, but the good news is that if you're playing old demons, you don't have to worry about performance. So that's a list that I would seriously consider doing. It depends on what you're good at on mobile. I feel like I was better at flying a ship on mobile than I was at really anything else. And that's comparative. I'm trash on mobile at this point in time. Now, if you did it the way of the Star Grinder or the Demon Grinder, you just play old demons until you find these difficult ones, and then you beat them because they're there. That's the way of the Demon Grinder. I'm assuming you don't want to play any like really hard non-demons, because there are options for doing that too. Ah, okay, ship. That's your challenge. Well, the old demons have a lot of ship maneuver in them. Club Steppin' and Twilight Step V2 have some very nasty ships in them. But all of them have, tight ships that are difficult. So, because of that, you might find it more difficult than I did. I understand, man. I can't change from my icon set because I'm too comfortable with it. If I do anything else, it'll weird me out. Just go with some icons that people hate and own them. So, yeah, if ship is a struggling point for you, then those levels are going to be difficult, because old levels, they're going to get some of their difficulty from ship. They're going to get it from memory. They're going to get it from timings. That's kind of the way it goes. Some of them, like Twilight Step V2, that's going to get it from some visibility issues. It might just be worth your while to practice all of them, because then you can really develop some ship skills. If you become comfortable with all of them, then you can start trying to actually pick them off. And then you'll come out of it way better. I'm glad to hear that my icons work for more than just me. But yeah, uniqueness would be good. Man, this thing is just not giving me an inch. It killed me by less than an inch, but too. If you saw that at the end there at 98, you've got to be kidding me. But that's why we're practicing. That's the whole point. Oh, I got that bug. That's a bug that doesn't happen in Supersonic. Well, these are my two favorite colors, so that's just what happened. Green and purple. It may or may not have something to do with Starfire from Teen Titans, but anyway. And I said Teen Titans and not Teen Titans Go. Look it up. Done. GG. Ooh. It's pretty good, but you know, I've got experience with these. I got experience with all the levels represented in here minus Cataclysm. Still no daily. Yeah, those seem pretty common. But they work. See, I would want to go with something that's bright, right? So, you see, like all the first colors in here are very saturated, but then they start getting less saturated as you go to the next page and then the page after. These are very unsaturated colors. And then you've got a few saturated ones right at the end here. So go with a color that's saturated. Pick something that you want. So for example, I would not recommend doing something like that. That is a bad idea. Okay. I wish you the best with your icon and color selection. For this ship, I always wanted one that isn't very tall. So you can see how some of these are actually quite tall if you use them. So the ship that Blast was using, that my cursor is over, that's an alright ship because it's not that high. The one right below the one I have selected is probably okay. The Seahorse and Rhino are probably going to be alright. For the ball, it doesn't matter that much. It might be to your interest to have something that is easy to distinguish between what's one side of the duel and what's the other. So, for example, the one I have is not a good example of that. The only thing that tells me which is the glow on the outside. But some of these other ones you can figure it out pretty easily because of like what color it is on the inside. Say this one here. That one's going to be really easy to tell the difference between the different sides of the duel, which will behave to gravity slightly differently and stuff like that. You'll be able to tell whether or not your swing copter is your primary ball or your secondary ball. In the UFO, again, I try not to pick something that's too tall. Try and choose something that's got a wider and shorter design. So that's why this one never really appealed to me. It's just so tall. For robot, I don't think it matters that much. I chose the sleekest one. For the spider, again, I don't think it matters that much. I chose the one with crystals, but I could do any of these. Harambe seems like it's a bit long, so I would avoid a really long spider like the Harambe one. For cubes, I need one that's symmetric. It looks the same, or I need one that's completely symmetric. It looks the same no matter which side it's resting on. So Riot's cube, this one here, that doesn't work. So anyway, we're gonna cut the stream here. I've been streaming for a little while at this point. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you hopefully on Sunday when the Weekly Demon comes out, but if not, it might end up being on Monday for the next stream where we do the Weekly Demon twice and Ultimate Demon mix. But other than that, I'll see you tomorrow with another video, as usual. So thanks for watching, and goodbye.